something goes wrong, yes, how can we do that? So this is stuff that might have been explained previously, but this is stuff from my reading of personal AI that I wanted to like flag that we need to maybe pronounce even more for people that are coming new to looking at QuiNet and personal AI and like the grants and the whole ecosystem that we're building within Kwaai. I'm suggesting that we build this framework or architectural layer or enforcement layer of trust within Kwaai. Again, in other platforms that I've built, we've built more or less a similar layer outside. I think a lot of it belongs within personal AI. So that's like what I'm proposing over here. So basically, the people in this room have already defined what's owed. Let's make sure it's enforced. And if some of those tenets are already exist already, let's pronounce them even more so that people are aware that they exist. It's just going to help with the adoption, I would think. So basically, my claim is if it isn't enforced in the system, it's just a promise. And I think personal AI is well suited, like to be at the heart of the discussion of personal agents and with all the tenants around like the democratizing agents and like when I look at it comparing to other things and other solutions that are available, it's basically it's at the heart of the loyalty race. And right now this race is wide open. So if we're able to make sure that we close the gap between like the where people feel like the disloyalty with trusting agents and personal AIs and digital twins and we're able to if we're able to close this gap, we have achieved because our goal is to really achieve and take this to the next level where personal AI is scalable, is used, is trusted, and that's like I think this room exists around that race, and I'd love to be engaged in discussions around that from again from a builder's perspective, not at the scientific machine learning lower end level. And I'll stop here. So if you guys have
Thank
any,
you so much.
thank you.
While people pluck up the courage, I see some hands up already. Um, Let me thank you. This is thought provoking, and it's actually challenging us to live up to the mission of Quine. And you're right. It's we don't want to just create something with a pinky promise that is not enforced properly and mathematically. In the slide, there's a slide where you say bound, observe, and reverse.
Yes, let me go.
Now, I think there's the box just before that, and there is prevent.
True. Mhm.
And most of my energy has been around prevention because the maxim that an ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure is guiding that belief. Although you can't prevent everything, so. Is it possible to get the prevention inside the bound box, or is it a separate box that exists beforehand?
The way I would see it, it's prevention happens almost by like what we're doing right now, by the intent and the policies and so forth. So basically, it's built in there. And the way to prevent this is like in the policy decision layer. So
Okay. Well,
prevention is
look,
like the overarching aspect, something by preparing properly and having the right policies and the right intent and so forth, right? And then the vehicle for the prevention is having like this grant loyalty situation of this enforcement layer, if you will. And that's how you're going to prevent. And you're absolutely correct. You're not going to prevent everything. And that's why like the audit trail and the observability is extremely important because if something actually goes wrong, because a lot of things could go wrong and a lot of them do, you're able to have an audit trail of what's happening.
well, fantastic. We've got
Yeah.
some hands up. Steve's hands first, and then we've also got the after party where we can go into a lot more detail.
Is my audio actually working? All right.
Yeah.
So all I have to say is join us in the new agent stack task force over at Trust Over IP. I'm putting together the repo right now, seeding it with all the materials. I'd certainly like to put this presentation and whatever else you have in there as
Sure.
well. But I want to implement a full stack of this before the end of the year.
Oh, That's amazing.
I already have about several thousand pages of technical papers on this, so it's I've been going at this a couple of years. So I think your presentation was fantastic, and you actually did go into one granular area which I hadn't considered. So I would love to have a conversation as soon as possible.
Oh,
All right.
definitely. I would love to.
Thanks.
Thank you so much. And actually, Reza pointed me towards you because he mentioned that you have done a lot of work, a ton of work in this area. And from my perspective, I'm starting as an agentic AI builder, if you will. And I'm like, how can I like deliver features, agentic AI features to users in high intense like situations or high compliance or legalities and situations? Without like really knowing exactly what's happening and going back to the system and answering to people about what happened.